So that is the cheapest Chinese in London. Probably wouldn't have boxes, but here in London we do. That is part of the aesthetic. There's a few people that said they got food poisoning here. £8.50 for a cake.
China, I've never seen that.
This is what we think Chinese people eat all the time. Guys, hello, we are in my home city, where I was born and raised. We're back in London. It's a little bit cold, and we're having a little bit of a wander around. I've actually come out today to have a look at some food. Well, the thing is food in the UK is actually very, very expensive at the best of times, especially foreign food. Now, we are in Chinatown, which means one thing, we are looking for a bit of Chinese food.
Which is the most part.
Having a little bit of a wander around here, and there's a lot of Chinese restaurants, but the Chinese restaurants in Chinatown aren't even that cheap. There's actually very, very high prices. If you look at some of the restaurants around here, the Wong Key and things like that, where people say it's the cheapest in London, it's not. It's really not. It's very, very expensive. If you look at the prices, you'd be surprised. But there are a few places that can be super, super cheap. Now we're going to go and have a look at some of these super cheap places and find the cheapest food in London. This is supposed to be one of the cheaper restaurants in Thingy, Wong Key, yeah. But I don't think it's that cheap, this place. If you look at the prices are fucking dear, aren't they?
£14.80 for morning glory.
How much is it?
£14.80.
Jesus Christ.
£13 for English broccoli.
So this is what it looks like inside, guys. This is it. The Wong Key. Nice. Not too bad. It's £8. Oh shit. That's per person.
We have that at home. We never drink it.
Look at this. This is Chinese buffet. This is pretty good.
Looks pretty meaty.
It does. Take away £8 per box. Guys, the first thing you'll notice when you're in London compared to China is just the state of the place. Now in China you probably wouldn't have boxes, a mess and trash everywhere, but here in London we do. That is part of the aesthetic of London, I think. We're not as clean as they are in China, let me tell you. But even in Chinatown, the Chinese don't keep it pristine like they do in China. You know.
Yes, you never see that.
What's that?
You never see that anymore.
I don't know. I mean, it's quite typically London. And in front of us here, we've got Dim Sum Daily. It's the Lotus Garden. This place is obviously very busy. Look at the prices. Let's have a look. So as you can see, guys, the prices.
Stir-fried chimichurri. What is that?
Japanese style, Malaysian style.
What's that?
I don't know.
I've never had that in Malaysia.
One thing you'll notice about the food here in London is the Chinese food is a little bit different. It's not like the traditional Chinese food you find in China. In fact, it's very, very different. People say that the Chinese food in London or in the UK tends to be Cantonese food. Food you find in Hong Kong. You know, a lot of the sweet and sour and things like that you might find in the dim sum places in Hong Kong and Cantonese region. But we're going to have a little look around today and head to a place where apparently it's the cheapest Chinese food you can find in London. Is it going to be Chinese food? I wonder. I don't know. Let's have a look. So this is Kowloon buffet, so this would be Hong Kong style as well. And then they've got all sorts of meat and food. This is quite typically Cantonese kind of style of food because it's heavily meaty.
And maybe fish.
What are they called? Fried Chinese donut, maybe £2 for the UTL.
That's not bad.
You can see the prices of things. Coconut bun, £1.50. Crispy coconut bun. That's about 16 yuan, 21 yuan. You think that's a pretty good price?
Is onion bun something in China? I've never seen that.
Which one?
Onion bun.
Unfortunately, I did have that onion cake, so I don't know. Yeah, probably.
It's different. I've never seen an onion bun. I think that's English take.
Guys, let's face it, traveling to a new destination can be very difficult. You've got to worry about visas, hotels, packing. The last thing you need is to arrive at your destination and find out you don't have any internet. You can't find your hotel, and Dodgy Dave wants to charge you 5 times the price at the taxi rank to get to your hotel because you don't have any internet. Well, what if I told you you could have internet as soon as you land? We've been using eSIMs with Holofly. Now, what on earth is an eSIM? Well, an eSIM is a digital SIM. You don't have to worry about fiddling with physical SIMs anymore. All you got to do is jump on Holofly's website or on their app, and you can navigate 213 destinations and pick yours, and you can download an eSIM and have it activated in under a minute. What makes it super great is there's no hidden costs, and they've got 24/7 support. And the best thing is they offer unlimited data. So there's no reason to get stuck on the back roads of your destination without any data. Again, let me tell you guys, I've been there and it ain't pretty. Guys, if you want to give Holofly a try, you can use our discount code, which is Veggies on Tour. You'll get 5% off. So that is a worry I don't need to worry about anymore. And I don't have to hand any more money over to Dodgy Dave at the taxi rank. I can just book an app taxi through one of the apps on my phone. Thank you, Holofly.
Right, so guys, the cheapest place in London for a Chinese is the place behind me. It's a place called Mr. Wu's. Now this place, you can get a takeaway box for only £5. If you see the other prices along the street, they're about £8. A lot more than that. You know, the minimum for a dish in some of these places is about £12. Even for Morning Glory, Julia was saying earlier, £12.
That was 14.80.
How much was it?
14.80.
Jesus Christ.
£12 was no, £13 was the broccoli, English
Right.
broccoli.
Hello, takeaway for one.
Yeah, pay here, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So guys, this is what the cheapest Chinese looks like in London. Wow. Hello boss, what's the vegetarian stuff?
Read the labels, man.
Ah, read the labels, huh? Thank you. Let's try some of this then. Whoosh. Sorry boss, sorry mate. Some of these, this is spring rolls. This looks like mushroom, stir-fried mushrooms. Salt and pepper potato, that looks like. Look at this, wow. Let's get some of that. Look at that, some chilli in there as well, wow, look at that. Looks alright. Nice little, whoa. This looks like it's going to be curry sauce. Let's get a bit of this. This is typical. And then you get some sweet and sour as well. That's it. So that is the cheapest Chinese in London. And let's have a look at this. Wow, it's still steaming actually. Look at that.
What did you go for? Noodles?
So that is what apparently Chinese food looks like in London. This is what us English people think Chinese food is. Got some kind of chow mein maybe. Let's try it.
The smell doesn't smell Chinese food to me.
That is very typical, this, in England, this kind of noodles. This is what we think Chinese people eat all the time. No.
This is not the smell of Chinese food.
Okay. So Julia's right. So the perception, Julia's just said to me, it doesn't smell like Chinese food. No, Chinese food in China is completely different almost. This is typical in England and the West. This is prawn crackers. But they say it's vegetarian. I believe them. It's nice. I don't know what the hell it's made of. But it's nice. And then I had some kind of curry sauce. Now that curry sauce, that thick round curry sauce. Look at this. This is typical of cuisine in here, Chinese cuisine in England as well. So here's a really interesting fact for you. This place has only got 3.1 on Google. There's a few people that say they got food poisoning here. And I thought I would come test it out, do the vegetarian way. Here's a spring roll. Now these exist in China, but they're not that common.
Looks pretty soggy.
It is soggy now. It was dry. It's not bad, that. This is the one bit I was waiting for most. Salt and pepper potato. Now salt and pepper, they're just potatoes. Here we go. It's just potato, that.
Wow.
It's not salt and peppery. It's not that fried. It's quite nice. Oh, it's not bad. And look, you just get a mishmash in your box for £5. Tell me where you can get food for £5 in London, especially Chinese food. That's pretty good. It's not bad. I saw people loading up boxes and boxes in there, let me tell you. Look at that. Wow. Hey, I can't complain. One thing that really confuses me is curry sauce. Now you saw that thick curry sauce, that brown curry sauce. Is it Chinese sauce? Something's a little bit eggy there. Not bad. Got bean sprouts. I asked the gentleman in there what's vegetarian, and the bloke in a really strong London accent, Chinese fella, but really strong, proper geezer accent, was like, says it on the sign, mate. I don't know.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
What was on the side there? So from what I've seen it's not much, but okay, obviously rice, there's potato and some noodles, bean sprouts and vegetarian spring rolls. There's not that much, is it?
There's plenty if you're a meat eater. There's
Yeah,
a lot
but
of food.
not as a
There's not that much
vegetarian.
vegetarian.
No.
But this is what we do. Typical Chinese food. It's different, but it definitely fills a hole. And as you could see, looks completely different to what you'd expect in China. Far away from the Guilin rice noodles, the Sichuan.
And the smells
the
as
Sichuan
well.
noodles.
Honestly,
Everything's just.
the smells got
completely
nothing to do with.
I didn't see any mapo tofu in there either.
Do you see any tofu at all? No.
I didn't see any Sichuan peppercorns, nothing like that.
Even normal tofu? No.
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 The sauces were sweet and sour sauce and curry sauce. So they are typical of England, you see. Those I've never seen curry sauce in China, ever. I see lao gamma, and I think this is a very British style of Chinese food. It's a bit like kind of Indian food in England, slightly bastardised for the local taste.
No, I would say Indian food in England. It's different, but it's more
More realistic.
More realistic than Chinese food. Chinese food is completely different.
So it says Mr. Wu's Chinese restaurant, hot buffet. And this is it. Alright guys, we will leave it at that. And this is Chinese food in Britain. Is it different to Chinese food? Are you surprised? Why don't we do dumplings? Where the fuck are the dumplings? We do dumplings, but they're super expensive. I would wish we did those kind of like those cheap dumplings you can get from the dumpling shops. and you order them and they just like turn up at your door. Amazing.
Yeah, before going to China, I actually had no idea dumpling was supposed to be a cheap food, because it's considered super cheap in China. But actually, Chinese dumplings here
Are expensive.
quite expensive. Yeah, so you wouldn't know that's a cheap food.
Chinese dumplings in England are actually surprisingly expensive, guys. So much more expensive than you think they are. And the costs really do add up. And it's amazing because Chinese food in China is actually super cheap. Like the ingredients can be quite stripped back. So guys, what's my verdict on that? Well, it wasn't bad. Actually, for a £5, you can't go wrong, but it doesn't really resemble the flavours and the taste that I'm used to in China. But it is the British anglicised version of Chinese food, isn't it? Some elements of Chinese. So what do you reckon about that, guys? You reckon you would try that out for a £5? It's probably worth a punt, especially if you eat meat. You could get to try what British Chinese food actually tastes like, because it's definitely not the same as traditional Chinese food. There are some places where you might find some more slightly traditional Chinese, but as you could see, some of the menus, they tend to mix in Malaysian, Japanese, all sorts of different cuisines into the menu. Me and Julie were just looking at a place along here, and it's called Banana Kitchen, and they claim to be from where? Or is it just Asian? And it's just a real mishmash of foods.
But funny enough, even when they call themselves to be specific restaurants from many parts of Asia, the menu is never clean. Like in the sense that the menu is always mixed. It's full of like random dishes from other Asian countries all the time. That's a classic in London. It's very hard to find a restaurant that doesn't do any other Asian stuff randomly into one. They try to do Indonesian, Malaysian, Singaporean, Japanese, Thai food, basically all Asian food in one.
It's not very good, is it?
Obviously it's going to end up like a shit show. It's like doing like European restaurant and you just start making, I don't know, Italian food, but also some Polish food or some Russian food, and then just like English food or something. It's like, what the fuck is this restaurant? Yeah, exactly, like that.
And actually, that's detrimental to it, because as you see, if I've cut the clip in, Julia says exactly that.
I mean, if you've never been to Asia, you might think that's okay, but...
To someone who's lived in Asia, it's not okay, is it?
No, but if someone's never been to any of these places, they might think that's proper, you know.
So guys, another question quickly. If anyone's been to the UK and London, and you're Chinese, and you've been to an authentic Chinese place, what is the most authentic Chinese place you've been to in London? And let us know in the comments, and let people know, because Asian food in the UK can be bastardized very much to the point that it doesn't become Asian food anymore, and it's a little bit just of a mishmash of different cultures, and they get it so wrong, and they claim it's Chinese food, but is it Chinese food? We see it a lot with Malaysian food. You know, places claim to be Malaysian, but you know, genuinely not. Italians have it all the time. Italians, people claim to be Italian, but they're not Italian whatsoever, and the food doesn't represent Italian food in the slightest. That's a real big issue globally they face as well. And Julia's constantly going, not Italian. You know, she just needs to look at the menu, see the spellings, and she'll know, not Italian.
In London, there's so many Italians, so there are a few good Italian ones.
Right.
But there's also the majority of them that's not going to be Italian at all. Probably French or whatever, something else. or sometimes even English, you know.
English. What about Indians? Sometimes Indians own the Chinese, Italian places, don't they?
Oh no, do they?
Oh, pizza places, yeah.
Oh gosh.
You know, the takeaway places.
Oh, but that's American stuff, it's different.
Right.
They can do that.
Sometimes they do. There's an Italian one, Indian owned in where I live.
Is there?
Yeah, Pizza Roma or something they call it.
Does it claim to be Italian though?
They've got Italian flags all over it. They do.
Oh god.
This is what I'm saying, guys.
Never
So
been, but...
anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, cheapest Chinese in London. You heard it here,
That's quite nice.
guys. £8.50 for a cake here in London. Check out this. This small cake is £8.50. That is crazy, isn't it? Look at this, £8.50. Whew.